Okay. So we were going to pick it up where the Germans invaded Poland, and they purged the educated field, and you went through 6th grade in the regular Polish school.
Oh yeah,
in Gorzno.
And then 7th grade I had to finish in German.
And they just basically taught you German.
Just German. That mostly was just trying to learn German language. Yeah,
right.
That's the main thing.
And history, German history, anything like that?
Not really. I don't remember. So that's it. So I never finished 7th grade, because of that, but so that you kind of learns another language, that's about it,
But that was helpful.
Yeah.
I mean...
But that's how I completed my 7th grade,
Really hard.
And I never did go to any other school after that. That's, that was it.
Well, fortunately, if you were college educated, they would have taken you away, right?
Oh yeah, oh gosh, yeah. All the college educated people that I knew, all students they're educated in business or lawyers or something. All those were picked up, and within 2 weeks, all of them were picked up.
What about doctors?
It's the same thing.
But I would think they would use
They
the
probably
doctors.
used them who knows, I don't know, but they were all gone. But there's nobody, all the teachers for school, there were 7 grades of school in, all grades. So we had quite a few teachers, and they were all picked up.
Do you know what happened to any of them?
Not really, no.
Concentration camps?
Most likely, some might have escaped. If they escaped enough and maybe went into hiding, they might have got away with it. But many of them probably got caught, so I know the Koinovsky, another farmer that we knew and my dad knew all the time. One was, one was a lawyer, one was a teacher. He was teaching in our school. He was picked up. They came at night. We picked him up at night. That was probably the first week right away. But again, like I said, the people that the Germans, we had quite a few Germans in our district or town,
neighborhood?
All over. We had farmers, big farmers. They were Germans,
Right.
So they had all these people spotted before the war, even before the Germans came.
They knew they had.
Oh, sure.
They
They knew everybody. They knew everybody exactly. They were spying. So when they came in, it didn't take them long to pick all these people because they knew where they lived. They knew everything, And so the first week they picked up right away some of the main things, and that one was Koinovsky was picked up the first week, And the second week we already knew that he died because they were beating them on their kidneys, and he died right. But there was more of them there. But anyway, all these people, all these teachers were gone, and their kids, like they were college. A couple of them were college kids, and this the math teacher, his kids were college already, going to college. So I don't know what they escaped or they picked them up too, but they were.
How did Tadek?
I don't know because I don't know that much with Tadek.
He was educated.
Oh yeah, he was professor.
Right. So
but he was somehow professor. I don't know how he survived. Because he was turned communist. He must. Because that was not under Germans. He survived all this because he wasn't yet. He was younger than So he survived this whole. But when the Russians came in, he became a communist. And by that time he was, he was educated, and he started going, he was still going to schools, but under Russian thing, and he became communist, actually turned communist, as a party man.
Right.
That's it, so.
Right.
And, so he survived, but when the Russians were there, they came in. Poland was only partially free, supposedly, but the Russians had control over it.
Right.
We were there one time at the house, and we couldn't like this around the table, and talking pretty loud, like, you know. And I thought they just wanted to make sure all the windows are closed. And his wife, my assistant,
Tadek?
yeah, because he used to talk pretty loud, you know, kind of, and he was a political type of guy.
This is your wife's husband.
Yes,
Tadek.
and by then,
I'm sorry, your sister's husband.
yeah, but by then he was kind of against turning up because he wanted to get out of the party because he was beginning to see what was going on. They did, so he kind of at home he would start talking a little bit too much,
and he was loud.
And my sister, shut up, shut up, shut up.
Is that's Jean?
Yeah, Jean, yeah. Because in windows closed, you know, because
they were in trouble.
Yeah, because they were spying, you know, this thing. So you get caught, well, you had it, he said, you know.
Yeah.
So it's yeah. But anyway, back to the priest. It's,
right. So the priest, somebody had killed a German soldier and put him underneath the window of the rectory of a Catholic priest. Yeah. That your family knew.
Yeah.
And so it was to frame him up or to get him in trouble.
Because
they left him alone
because there was too many Germans in his parish, because he had a big parish, you know. There were too many Germans. They knew who's who, and he didn't do anything wrong, you know, against Germans as far as I knew.
Right.
And he wasn't a political guy or anything.
He wasn't. Maybe he wasn't political enough. For them.
Maybe. But they didn't like it, you know, because that was a Catholic, and it was, you know, so they probably just wanted somebody had something against them, you know. This is it, and that was one way to do it. So they might have found a dead soldier someplace because the fighting was still going on and everything. So they might have found a dead soldier and brought him here and put him against the window, you know. But I know he didn't kill, that's for sure, you know.
And then he ran?
He somehow got to our house, and I don't know I don't think my dad would have taken, you know, because my dad went and picked up with a couple of horses in the cart, you know, his mother and his sister from that rectory went to pick them up, brought some of their some furniture, but their personal belongings especially, you know.
He must have done that undercover, like sneaking.
Well, maybe he did. I don't know how he did, but he did, and he brought it all because they were not arrested or anything like this. You know, they were, you know, so they didn't do anything about them, and he brought them at the same time to our house. So from then on, they were living with us.
All of them.
All of them.
Oh, I didn't realize it was all of them.
Yeah, his mother and his...
the whole family.
And his daughter, my aunt. Martha. She was... there were three of them. They had this big house. The house was kind of one end of it was kind of, you know... my grandmother lived in one part of it, you know, so the grandmother was a sister of his mother, you know, so they lived kind of together, okay, because my grandfather was dead already, so, and the priest and his daughter, his sister, were living at the other end, but, you know, so there was enough room, yes, just a big room like this for me, you know, so they were living there, and my dad, in the meantime, built a hiding spot in the wall. Like there was going up steps to the top of the house. There was kind of, and then there was not laundry. There wasn't a laundromat, but there was a storage type way. Utility room,
right?
Between storage, and between there was kind of a space, kind of. That you couldn't tell if you were on the steps. You couldn't tell if you were in the room. Once he built that kind of wall, one board would open, you know, like a door. So if it was closed, it was just like a wall, you know. My dad fixed it up so inside of it, my dad built it for him so he could hide, and all because he had the priest at that time, I don't know how it's now even, but he had to say mass every day, you know, there was, if at all possible, naturally. So he decided that he brought the So I don't know how he. Well, because he must have had some in the house, and the mother brought it, because I know that he didn't bring him with him. So they had the chalice and the some of the best, that
tools of the trade.
Yeah. So he kept it all inside there, that little. And I thought it was just like you were just big enough to, for him to, and stand up and to hide. So that's if something was happening, you would go in there, close it, and that's it. And when he said the mass, our big room there, that where he lived, had like two big windows. One window, but they were like this, but separate. There was maybe pretty much. So we built like an altar there, where you could say mass. Table, and he kind of fixed up. So it looked like an altar, when it's, but it would quickly could take it apart and put in there. So in the morning he would say every day, say mass, yeah. And he would teach me Latin, and I would serve to it, every day. But the windows were like, at that time when you served mass, you had to kneel on one side, and you certain after certain things you went on the other side of the priest. You knelt on the other one.
You as like the altar boy.
Yeah, that's what I was. That's what I was, right? So, but my job was at the same time look on the main road there if somebody's coming.
Right.
See, because that road was coming from town. So if anybody was coming, would be coming from town and coming towards us.
Right.
So.
Now, would anybody else come besides your immediate family?
Oh yeah, they would. Oh no.
How about neighbors coming?
No. Nobody knew. Just us.
So he would never go outside either.
Yeah, he would go outside, but he would go. We had on that big lake on the side. There was all bushes like hazelnuts and bushes, and a lot. It was kind of maybe 2-3 miles long. It was all on the water. It was all, and that all belonged to us.
So it kind of kept him undercover.
So he would go in there. There was kind of pathways there because
cool.
the cattle, that would make the pathways So there was some peace, and there were streams, water streams. So he would go in there. There was a stream coming from our fields and kind of a bunch of trees into the field. In the stream, so he built up all kinds of water wheels, real nice. In the trough, and the wheel on it, on the bottom.
You mean to pump water into?
No, he just for looks. He made a kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, he made from that stream was coming down the hill like this, and he would have all kinds of.
Oh, that's cool.
Really cool. So people saw it. Like if they weren't there, they saw it. And you could just say, "Oh, my uncle likes to do it. He did it." Nobody knew anything. So that's it. No. But that's what he was doing, and not very many people saw that. Because there was kind of off. There was.
So he would go for a little walk.
Oh yeah, he would do his readings, and he'd do all kinds of. And he would. And then
how old was he then?
Then he probably was about 40.
And what was his name?
Frank Ashik.
Frank Ashik.
Yeah, he's on the picture up.
Catholic priest, and he was.
He was a Monsignor at the.
Well, after the war, he became Monsignor. Yeah,
and he was related to how?
Well, that was my father's cousin.
Your father's cousin.
Yeah, because my father's mother and his sister were sisters, and his mother were sisters, So that's
And okay, wow.
But but anyway, he would do this, and we even took pictures in snow. Sometimes I think there's some up there anyway. And one time we were taking pictures behind the farm there, in winter snow, deep snow, but there was, and right in the middle taking the picture, and the chimney guy is coming down the hill, you know, right towards us, you know.
Chimney cleaners?
Chimney cleaner. He was a German. He was a German. You know?
Okay.
But I never forget that. You know, and he kind of stopped and he took, you know, I think he even took a picture of it, you know, for with our camera, you know, kind of so talking and everything. But you know, he was just dressed. Nobody could recognize him. Nobody knew him. You know, he was a visitor at the time. And that's it. So you know. And he didn't, that chimney man, we never saw him very often because he came from town, you know. So, it's, you know, so he talked, and he went and fine, and, you know, fine done. So once in a while you could get stuck with something like that.
Did you ever have to run for the hiding spot? And
yeah, well, just when I was saying Mass, we had to take not too often, but a couple times, well, maybe 3 times, the altar had to be stripped quickly. And
somebody was coming?
He was, because Germans, you know, not some, you know, some, but German soldiers or police, German police, that was the main thing, you know.
Mm-hmm. And did they actually come to the house and look?
They did, one time, but sometimes they only came to ask something, but that's it, that's another, I'll continue on that. It's, so, you know, so we did that, you know, so really, or one time they would come to search for something. Yeah, but they never did suspect anything, but you know, like when I think of it now, if they had dogs.
Yes, right.
Son of a gun, you know, it's just...
But they would have to know what to smell, they would have to have...
maybe they would,
You know, if they would have to have a clothing piece from him so that the dog
smell.
Otherwise, they don't know what. I don't think they would know
because there were all kinds of stuff in there, you know.
Right.
So maybe that would get.
And then you could have put pepper out there and screwed it up.
but one time when he at night, that was a little bit further into he was there for a while already. One time at night. We were in bed already. I'll never forget that one. And because they were taking people out at night, they would come and knock on...
Is this in 1943?
No, that was probably 41 when this...
So what year did he actually get in? Did you actually...
Well, he came right after the war started almost.
Like in 39?
Yeah, 39, shortly right away. Yeah.
Okay, so in about 41 then, you're asleep at night?
Yeah. Sleeping at night, and it's it's probably it was quite later, kind of later in the night already, and all of a sudden there's a knock on the door, bang, bang, bang on the door, you know, and oh brother, they're coming to get us after all, you know, because that's how it happened, you know.
Right.
So, and we were by that time we were kind of maybe, so they come banging at us, 2 of them. Police, you know.
Mm-hmm. Just in German police outfit?
Just from the town, you know. And so my dad got up, went out there to see what's cooking, but he never came back in again, you know, they were talking to him outside there, you know. I said, what the heck is going on? My mother was...
How old were you at that? You were like 14, 15?
Something like that, 14, I think, 15, yeah. And so it's, by that, 15, yeah. But so it's, my mother got, you know, all nervous naturally, but, you know, it's just because if they find him...
Scared, yeah.
That's it.
Oh, the Catholic priest is in there, too.
He was, we didn't know what he was doing, you know.
He wasn't in his hiding spot?
No.
He was out in the barn?
Yeah, because we thought they were coming into the house already, see. So
he didn't have time to get in there.
So he just ran out behind the house and out he went, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I know how my mother discovered that she went, you know, saw that he went out, you know, through the veranda type, you know, that you see that on the painting, and he ran down and around this, and there was like a pathway to our toilet, outside toilet type one, yeah,
outhouse,
and outhouse. And right around the outhouse, you know, were lilac bushes, big lilac bushes. Was all grown over, like, you know, and he got in there and hid in there, you know. I mean, like from almost, because it was kind of really bushy, and they were walking with the, you know.
So they were looking for him?
No, they were looking for him. But we didn't know, at the time we didn't know.
They were just looking.
But they were looking for something, you know, and we don't, my mother and I then stood by the window, and we knew that he was there by that time, you know. My mother says, oh no, you know, and we thought, and here they come around the house, all the way on that pathway, right by that. Right here, by him, you know. My mother, she was shaking, boy, I tell you. She says that's it, you know.
And if they would have caught him?
They would have caught him. That's if we were hiding a priest. We would have gone to a concentration or even executed on the marketplace for everybody to see, you know. Yeah, that's what it would have been. There's no question about it, you know. But my father was outside walking with them, and of course he talked German, so he just kept talking. And yet we don't know what the heck they're looking for.
Yeah.
You know, we thought maybe they're looking for, but so they were looking and once they were looking with flashlight and everything, but he was in the bushes there, and they finally went by, and when there's a pathway further there and around the farm, you know. And so once they went back into the farm, he ran down to the lake, into the other bushes, the long ones, you know.
Harder to find.
Get out of this one, I guess. But see that if they had a dog then
he would have.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it, because it was just like from here to you, you know. That's how close they were, you know. So it's and he got away, you know. So we went by, and he must have been there 45 minutes at least, if not an hour, you know. They went through that to the main shed where the corn, wheat was held and everything. And went looking there, and we kind of, what the heck is going on? They're looking for somebody, for something. But again, we didn't know anything yet by that time. But at least they went by it, and he ran away, so at least they didn't catch him. Didn't find him. Finally my dad, they went, you know, and my dad came in, you know, and it is, well, they're looking for somebody, you know. But what happened, that Bronick, that, you know, when he carries water from the stream, you know, he crosses the window and the road, and right into our gate and into the farm, to the house.
With the 2 5-gallon.
Yeah, right. And he spilled some water there, you know, and they thought that there was somebody peeing or something like that, and saw them coming and ran into, because they went into a farm, to our house.
Oh, brother.
You know,
somebody had passed by that way earlier in the day?
No, he just spilled water, you know, because when he was through the wet, it was still wet and showed, so they went by that. So
At night they went by that and saw that?
Yeah, right. So we go with flashlights, you know, it was obvious, apparently, because it was spilled pretty good. Maybe his bucket was leaking or something like that, because he used to carry water from there into the barn for the cattle, and he wouldn't do that to the house naturally. But late in the evening, he must have carried some water into the farm, into the barn.
They needed some for the animals, probably. Huh?
Yeah, so they were looking, you know. So they thought that somebody saw them,
because it was a little ways away. He had to carry water a fair amount. I mean,
oh yeah, sure.
And
he would have to go 4 or 5 trips,
right?
To, you know. So
he might have wanted to do a little bit at night before the morning.
Late at night, yeah. So because so they thought it was, so they came in looking at somebody around from there. Saw it.
They saw him running.
Yeah.
Wow.
And it was somebody that was just walking by or something, and they thought, wait a minute, somebody went to hide into the farm, you know.
But he wasn't all there.
Yeah, but he wasn't the one anyway. They didn't, you know. But he did the spilling, you know.
Right.
Water. So my father, talking German, he explained the whole thing, what happens, you know. Yeah, once he explained, but there were, yeah, I don't know when he explained that, but they still went around and looked all over the place, you know.
just to be sure.
To be sure, yeah.
But Bronick was sleeping in the barn.
Yes,
So
right.
he probably showed him that.
Yeah, probably we don't even know that. Because he didn't follow it. But that was something else. But so when they left,
the Catholic priest Frank, did he speak German?
oh yeah, he spoke German too. Yes.
He could have overheard this and understood what they were doing. He just had to stay out of sight.
Yeah, but we didn't inside the house behind the windows. We didn't know what was going. You know.
Right.
So, but he probably heard what they looking for. Somebody.
Jeez, Louise.
And so they left, and it was it was okay. So from then on, it's kind of just we didn't have any more real bad experiences, but that was the closest one. That was really, really bad. Mm-hmm. And so
Did you sleep the rest of it?
I don't. My mother probably didn't.
No.
I didn't sleep for a while either. I guess I don't even remember now. But it was something else. May I tell you? So, yeah. But
you remember when the priest at some point came into the house that night?
Yeah, they finally came in.
Do you remember what he said?
You just what the heck? So, but from then on, we continued the mass and everything. It's.
How did your dad handled that pretty well then? He was pretty.
Yeah. Oh yeah. He was. Yeah. He's inside. He might have been nervous as could be, but
right.
He handled himself pretty good. Yeah. He's spoken German.
Obviously, didn't raise their suspicions.
Yeah. So and there you go. See this. So, and I don't know, Jerry, by then whether we were already. Because when they first came in, within a month or so, they had everybody come into the town hall, if you want to call it, and you had to select whether you sign up for to be a third class German.
Right.
You see, because they had 3 classes like Einge Deutsch.
Right. We got that on here.
Oh yeah. Okay. And 3 classes. Yeah.
Right.
And so my parents.
And then the option, if you didn't do that, what happened?
Well, we didn't at the time. We didn't know.
Right.
But my father signed up because we had that priest here.
Yeah. You wanted to.
And everything. Who knows? But they wanted you to sign up so he could take the sons, or especially boys, to the army. Mm-hmm. See So I wasn't of age yet, but this is it. That was.
When did they? 16.
18. No, 17. I was 17 and a half.
When they did take
when they took me, when I even, and so he signed up so we could, that way we could, and it also prevented us from being thrown out or taken away, we keep the farm and everything,
Yeah.
So that my parents kind of decided. I kind of heard the whole thing because I was old enough. So they decided to sign up for it, and maybe things will. And that's what happened,
But if you didn't sign up,
we wouldn't be alive today.
Right.
Concentration
camp?
Well, no, because what happened? There's some people, the people that didn't sign up, and there was quite a few of them. Our neighbor, just a little bit north of us, they didn't sign up. And there was others, in town. And my uncle, my mother's brother, he didn't sign up, and his wife naturally, because he had 2 sons, and they were.
Oh, he didn't want them to go.
He didn't want them to go, and one was already ready to go to army right away, and the other one was my age exactly, Mm-hmm. So he didn't sign up, and he had a farm. That's when my grandparents used to, from my mother's side, used to live all the time. That's what we went to see sometimes,
Mm-hmm.
But he didn't sign up. There was quite a few of them. Well, all these people, when the war was just over, just in the last week or so, they gathered them all together and brought them into the schoolyard where I used to go to school. Mm-hmm. And then they marched him give him shovels and marched him to Von Jemiad. I never forget, that's a lake we used to haul lumber from there, and to the
One of your lakes? Or
no, that was in the forest, kind of deep in the forest. So, and they marched him apparently all the way to that, and they had to dig a grave, and they killed them all.
This is right before the Russians came on?
Just because the Russians came, yeah. They killed them all.
If they didn't sign up as third-class
Yeah.
Germans, that's what they did to the people that did.
Right, but like this neighbor north of us, and my uncle's, my mother's brother, they weren't part of that. They got him individually in their farm. They came over and shot his wife.
Before the Russians came?
Yeah, the Germans that knew everybody, the Germans came and shot him, Krupski, never forget it, Krupski and his wife. They shot him right on the spot in the farm, Then one of these, in that whole thing, they went to my mother's brother and got him out of the house and shot him right in the front of his wife, killed him right there. But they left her alone for some reason, I don't know, left her alone. So she wasn't killed, but he was killed. They shot him. And they did that to all these people that didn't sign up, especially those that had something that, like my mother's brother was always taken to police station almost every week or 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. Why?
Interrogation, where are the sons, because they escaped, they went home. He was beaten, he was doing all kinds of stuff. But they wanted to get him...
What was his name?
His brother?
Your mother's brother.
I'm pretty sure it was Frank, too.
Okay.
Yeah, because that was a popular name. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was Frank.
And her last name?
Who?
Your mom's. So his last name, too.
Pauline, I think it was, yeah. It's, I'm pretty sure, I don't remember it because I was,
Right.
And we did not associate with them that much because there was some friction with me, Mike. So we didn't know, the kids we didn't know them that well, It's, I know we went to my mother visit her mother and father in that house there, but we never saw them or talked to them or anything like this as a kids,
Mm-hmm.
Because there was some friction between our family and their family, so we kind of just, so that's why we kids didn't get involved ever with them. But did
they eventually kill him too, or?
Oh, no, they killed him. They shot him right on the spot.
Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
But they'd already brought him down many times to.
That was he was beaten all the time.
And then finally, before the
and
Russians,
he wouldn't give in. He wouldn't tell them where the sons are. And they survived.
Where did they go then?
I don't know where we didn't know where but they somehow came to surface after they was finished, and they're fine. They're fine. They're still
good.
Yeah. So, but he was stubborn, and he just wouldn't give in. And I guess his wife must have not been questioned that much or something. I don't know, but she wouldn't tell him. That's what she said. I don't know. That's it.